Another one lost. Another one come and gone. It's so hard. 2024 may have had its ups and downs, but it did not deserve this fate. Dying like that after only 1 year of life. Oh, so young. Let us all offer a moment of silence. Oh, for 2024. But hey, you know what? Who really cares about that? Because it's 2025, baby. Woo! So, of course, none of us are strangers to a new year coming. Celebrations, resolutions, all of the things that normally occur with the coming of a new year. But today, I thought I would do something kind of fun and in the theme of my channel, but with a different layout and format than usual. Today, we are going to go through some of the currently planned science missions for 2025. Starting us off today, we have Japan's M2 Resilience mission, which is scheduled to launch in January of 2025, which at the time of this recording is this month that we're in. It will include a lander and a micro rover. How's it going? Editing Joe here. There's something I totally missed in this part that I realized I wanted to go over. So here we are. For this mission, Resilience is the name of the lander, while the micro rover is called Tenacious. So they each have their own name. One of the things that the rover Tenacious will carry, I find to be like kind of a lot of fun. Quite fun, actually. It is known as the Moon House, and it will be actually deployed onto the moon's surface by the micro rover. This comes from artist Mikhail Genberg, who for over 25 years has envisioned a small red house on the surface of the moon. And now, thanks to this mission, that vision might very well be realized. Now with that, back to the science. There, the mission will study the lunar soil to help understand its composition and properties. A water splitting test will be conducted as well. This test would produce oxygen and hydrogen. It will do this by extracting water from the lunar surface, heating it up, and splitting the captured steam. This will generate the oxygen and hydrogen that I mentioned earlier, but also water as a byproduct. Being able to generate this would be crucial for enabling long-term lunar exploration, or even things like a moon base. This mission will have some tech demonstrations as well. Some examples are autonomous systems for the rover and advanced navigation systems to help with precision landings to get us on the moon more precisely and more accurately. This sort of technology won't only help us on the moon, but places like Mars as well. Japan's not the only ones who are going to continue studying the moon in 2025. NASA is coming in as well, with the continuation of their CLPS mission. CLPS stands for Commercial Lunar Payload Service. And NASA's CLPS initiative aims to continue helping us deliver science and technology payloads to the moon. It will achieve this with the help of commercial landers. CLPS just happens to be what brought the Odysseus lander to the moon in February of last year, 2024. Now, in 2025, NASA has several CLPS missions planned. Some of the companies that may have deliveries in this year are Firefly Aerospace, Astrobotic, and Intuitive Machines, who also made the aforementioned Odysseus lander. Next up, we have SPHEREx, which stands for the Spectrophotometer for the History of the Universe, Epoch of Reionization, and ICE's Explorer. That is a mouthful. And currently it is slated to launch in late February of 2025. This mission is planned to run for 2 years, and it will survey the sky in both optical and near-infrared light. With this, astronomers will be able to gather data on more than 450 million galaxies, along with more than 100 million stars here in our own Milky Way. I certainly am curious to see just what all we're going to be able to learn and discover from the launch and work of this mission. Studying things like asteroids and comets can sometimes be akin to peering back to the early days of our solar system, if they happen to have remained unchanged since that time, that is. This will be the focus of an upcoming mission from China called Tianwen 2, I think I'm saying that right, and it is slated to launch in May of 2025. Its goal is to collect samples from both a near-Earth asteroid and a comet, respectively. The first target for this mission is the NEO, Near-Earth Object, asteroid 469219, also known as Camo Aoliwa. Camo Aoliwa. I feel like I can sing this. Camo Aoliwa. I'm surely not saying that right, though. But it is a medium-sized asteroid that is roughly 131 to 328 feet in diameter, and we believe it may be a fragment of the moon that was ejected into space by an impact in the past. This asteroid is orbiting the sun. It's actually orbiting around the sun, but it passes by closely to Earth, so it's a target we can visit when it's passing by closely to us. This makes it a quasi-Earth satellite. In order to collect samples, the spacecraft will use both the touch and go and anchor and attach techniques. After these samples are collected, Tianwen 2 will return to Earth and then set its course for the second target, the main belt comet 311P/Pan-STARRS. I'd probably just call it Pan-STARRS, which is located in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Here it will also collect samples to return back to Earth for study. This one I'm also really curious about too, right? Because I think it's fun to get to learn more and more, not only about how the universe formed, but how our own cosmic neighborhood, the solar system, formed as well. I think it's time for a coffee break. Delicious. Here we have Space Rider, which is an upcoming ESA mission slated for the third quarter of 2025. It is an uncrewed robotic laboratory that is around the size of 2 minivans. After it launches on a Vega C rocket, it will stay in low Earth orbit for around 2 months. It will have several experiments inside of its cargo bay that will allow technology demonstrations and research for things like biomedicine, biology, pharmaceuticals, and physical science. One example of this involves studying things like how plants grow or how materials behave and how biological processes occur without the influence of gravity. Space Rider will demonstrate new technologies for future missions as well, such as communication systems, and robotic exploration tools that may be used in places like the Moon or Mars during future exploration. Sunai Williams and Butch Wilmore, whom are still currently on the ISS, will return home in 2025 after 9 months of being in space. Originally, they were only going to spend a week there, but the Boeing capsule that took them to the ISS encountered fuel leaks and thruster problems, which is why NASA ultimately decided to fly it back without them. The ISS won't only see the exit of these two, but also the entrance of Shubhanshu Shukla, an astronaut who is with ISRO, the Indian Space Research Organization. He will be the pilot of Axiom Mission 4 from Axiom Space. This is a private mission, and it is scheduled for spring of 2025. The last mission I would like to go over today is probably not as well known as the other ones, but it's called Space Weather Follow on Lagrange 1, or SWFO-L1 for short, and its current planned launch date is in September of 2025 on a Falcon 9 rocket. This mission will be operated by the NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and it will study the sun to monitor signs of solar storms. It will do this from the Earth-Sun L1 point, L being Lagrange point, and a quick refresher for those who want it. A Lagrange point is an area between two massive orbiting bodies where an equilibrium in their gravity allows small mass objects to stay roughly in that area. From this point, the satellite will be able to continuously watch the solar wind and energetic particles heading towards Earth. This will help us better prepare for things like large-scale CMEs that may be heading our way, and to just keep learning why the sun behaves in some of the ways that it does. It really looks like 2025 is going to be another exciting year in space exploration. I am sure there are plenty of other slated missions that I just did not come across in the process of making this video, so there will probably be even more for us to look out for. And I plan to be here covering the ones that interest me the most, or even that interest you guys the most. Something I always try to encourage is if there's a topic you would like to see me cover, be it one of the ones I talked about in this video or something else, always leave a comment letting me know. I love getting suggestions whenever people have them. 2024, though, it was my first full year of making YouTube videos, like start to finish. I was going consistently all the way through 2024, and overall, I think it went well. I would just like to take the time to thank each person who has interacted with me here in one way or another. I truly do appreciate it. And if you happen to be excited about what's to come, then please do stick around. If you are new here, please give the video a like, and who knows, maybe check out some of my other videos as well. If you like what you see there, I invite you to subscribe, and perhaps even click that bell icon. But with that, let's all step outside tonight and look towards the stars.